Hey folks, Muskin Adversary back at it again. This is going to be a separate series, so to speak. It's still related to Sonic 93, but it's more borderline in regards to the Sonic 93 abusers. The reason why stemming off from the Sonic 93 Neo Gaiden series is because one, it was a lame title reference to Ninja Gaiden, very lame, but I mean that aside, not it's whatever really because I want to be able to differentiate between my videos. Like, whereas I'm abridging it with the abuser section, and I'm focused more on the abusers than me reacting to what they have up there, and I'm doing more of an analysis. So even though I am not like skilled at this and like organizing all this with like PowerPoint presentations, so it's like I don't really have time to do a whole PowerPoint presentation to like impress people. I'm not doing this to impress anybody. I'm doing this to simply call people out that are actually abusing Sonic 93 or anyone who is condoning it or folks who shouldn't even be sticking their nose into it like that because it's too much. It's overwhelming. And I've seen where more people have actually said things about her that were really harmful. And even some folks that she's probably called out before or whatever, folks that other people might have called out. So this is not like all my doing to the point where it's like I get credit for everything. No, I don't get credit for everything. There's things I would not have seen if it weren't for like plenty of you, especially. And I thank you for that. But in regards to what I'm about to show right here, Bagaduce's video again, and the other one. First off, I want to talk
Videos.
about why it is important to call out people like this, like Bagaduce. And I'm going to say folks like Nico Royam, Bagaduce again, do a showcase here, so to speak. Sonic Miku, um, and then seeing this right here, Bagaduce again, and anybody else who's doing stupid crap. And then even this picture, this is the reason why it's so important to call out stuff like this because you don't know who it's going to affect and how and why. Somebody could have been a fan of Sonic 93 even to this point, despite people saying, "Oh, I used to be a fan of her," and then they're not a fan anymore. It's like, do you see why? It's not really because of Sonic 93, but rather the message that they send of her, including this saying that she's a mental defective, and that's not appropriate. Folks like Draco, because Draco is actually far worse than how people portray Sonic 93 over Silver, because Draco was obsessed with Blaze and kept making things about Blaze, a fictional character, when it came to Sonic 93. And then, too, seeing this wiki page right here, this wiki, whatever it's called, YouTube fandom, Wikitubia, this being up here. And then, like, I already went there. And when you go to Alan Ravenix right here, this is somebody who these are the people who are actually making so many not YouTube, Deviant Art pages about her. And it's like, how is this art? I get you have journals and you have like writings, like literature and art up here, but how is like, and this is not really calling her out, this is just spreading rumors and news or whatever. How is that art? This type of shit. And then Bag of Deuce doing more on her to the point where they're like making an emoji over a person they don't own, another human being. This is stuff I want to talk about, but I'm not going to talk about it in one video. And then Shiny Smeargle, whose video got privated, I guess, because I clicked on it, it was private. And Watermelon the cat, Watermelon, yeah, I said it right. And then spreading her name And then we have Princess Anastasia 434. These people even they quote the CC crew who's called out Sonic93, and by that I don't mean the CC crew as in like the whole CC community. No, I mean people who are randomly jumped in and made quote unquote like money off of Sonic93. Well, technically one person to my knowledge made money off of her, and that's Dumbsville with the stupid donations in that video. I will put Dumbsville in a separate video, if not like one with others, because I'm trying to fit this separately. This is Channel Even. I'm gonna start with Channel Even after I'm done showcasing and saying what I need to say about them. So Channel Even is somebody who acted like they were, I guess, dedicated to Sonic93, or rather, or they had high respects at least. And then they act like they lost so much respect for her that like they know her personally. And a lot of the people who do this, they act like, oh, we had such a close connection with her, and now all of a sudden she pissed us off, and it's like, what is this about? You don't even know her really. So when it comes down to Channel Even, I'm gonna start the timestamp for Channel Even right here. I read something that caught my attention from Berry, I believe. This is back in August 2020, of August 6th. Well, August 6th of August 2020. But it's on a wiki of some sort, the fandom, and I read this, and it sounds like they were saying that Channel Even used to be YoshiWii1. And I'm like, what the heck? So if I'm reading this correctly, you're suggesting, if Berry sees this, you're suggesting that YoshiWii1 is actually Channel Even, one and the same? Because I read this right here. So as many of you know, Sanemi fans have a tendency to go above and beyond when it comes to proving it exists. Well, about a year or so ago, I found this guy on Deviant Art called YoshiWii1, now Channel Even, who made this insanely huge journal entry about Sanemi, trying to prove it and calling out the haters and stuff, etc., etc. It's so horrendously long read, and it has multiple sections. But me, being quote-unquote anti-Sanemi, if you will, decide to make counters to his so-called proofs. Now, I don't hate other people for shipping it, but I simply don't agree with this idea. If you actually end up reading all of this, kudos to you. I'm just a teenage girl who probably has no business trying to attempt this. It's just that these things have been stuck in my mind for the past year. So without further ado, P.S. I recommend you parallel this with the original journal entry here. So I click on this, and I'm looking at this right here, and it says, note, this is just an archive entry. If you wish to commentate on this, go right ahead. Yoshi will be a hot topic for quite a long time. And I don't know, because this person even admitted that they used to hate YoshiWii1. And before I get there, I want to, however, read what's at the bottom. If you want to see this for yourself, this whole thing, the link is in the URL right here. It's the URL. So Josiah Blaze at 8/6/2020 said, I honestly don't support Sonic being shipped with anybody. Yuji Naka even stated Sonic would never get married. And this is because YoshiWii1 was a huge Son Amy fan of that shipping. And whatever Channel Even has up there, I guess was there because they wanted other people to see just how corrupt, quote unquote corrupt, I should say, YoshiWii1 was. Berry says, exactly, on the 7th, I don't understand why no one can just roll with that. Getty Up says, in the comic series, it states that Sonic marries Sally Acorn. I'm a fan of Sanemi. I like the fan-made character Aurora the Hedgehog, aka the daughter of Sonic. It's not really important, like here for this, I mean, but the reason why I was reading that is because we got Channel Even, who apparently didn't like YoshiWii1 to the point that they said something different at the bottom. And what caught my attention are people talking about this. And it's like, okay, so you decided to post what YoshiWii1 did, And you have like where you were saying that YoshiWii1 is overly obsessive. So Master Hand's paper was saying, why are people hating on Yoshi1 too much? I mean, sure, it seems pretty rude in a way to people who really love Sally, but it is accurate in lots of ways, especially the hedgehog squirrel mating part. Channel even says he's overly obsessive over Son Amy, among other faults. Son Amy is non-plausible. So when I do this, when I go to read what Channel Evan said about Sonic93, it's really rather ironic in such a stupid way. Because Channel Even tried to act like they cared about YoshiWii1 so much and could tolerate YoshiWii1 way better than Sonic93, and that's what so many people did. I'm gonna start with the January 3rd, 2020 entry. Sorry. How to be Sonic93. Channel Even says, I don't think she'll ever improve. She apologized once and immediately turned on it soon after. So, fuck it. She is just so obnoxious and gives off such a rotten personality, and it's easy to catch a pattern with her. Let it serve as a cautionary piece for when you want to make rants for a living. Now, already I have an issue with this. You're saying, I don't think she'll ever improve. You don't even know her personally. You're not someone who can just dictate whether or not someone will improve, all because you find them to be cringy or for whatever reason, especially if you're right or wrong. It's like, hey, if you're right or wrong, they're cringy. Why are you dictating? Do you want them to change? Do you not want them to change? It's not up to you technically, but it's like if you wish them well, that's a different story. Like, hey, you wish them well. You help them if you can. If you can't, then someone else may help them. But to make something like this, you are a borderline hypocrite. How to be like Sonic93. Number one, start out by expressing something that normally be a negative trait. Sonic93 is obviously a silver fangirl. Sonic the Hedgehog obviously has a less than satisfactory fan base. Even if the interests aren't as vile as they were in the past, Sonic93 has been around since 2006 and through the Blackbuster critic era. I mean, just look at her YouTube from 2008, and there's a link. Sure, she isn't as much of this as she was then. Heck, she doesn't hate Sally anymore. It's like I don't know if I've ever known her to hate Sally or to think low of her, and that's you saying this. So yeah, but you could say she makes up for that in how she responds to negative views and is still as defensive of Silver as she was then. As an aside, I know this is old and you were a hell of a lot younger back then, but your persona sets you back by a decade in age. Now I don't know if this is to Sonic93 or this is you quoting Sonic93 or claiming to quote her. If you are claiming to quote her, already this is stupid for you to have up there because a lot of people get things wrong about her when they say things and they fabricate over her by saying, oh, she used to hate Blaze or she hates Blaze and she loves Silver so much she doesn't care about other people. It's like I've heard too many of that and it doesn't add up, and I pointed out why in one more of my other videos. When it comes down to this, number two, start ranting about other Sonic fans with similar attributes. It may not look it, but perhaps she's covering those people to take away any potential harsh light to herself. When it comes down to this, it's like I am puzzled how people can just go so low with just calling her out and they see nothing good on her end, or they don't see any sympathy that they can give to her over it, even if she happened to have been wrong, hypothetically speaking. It's like you just can't sympathize at all. And then we got OBD right here, who is saying, I'm not saying Sonic93 did nothing wrong by any means, but I absolutely hate how everyone is quick to assume that she brought up this drama again exclusively for fucking attention. And that's the thing. She did not do it for attention, really. But you say she didn't do it again exclusively for attention. Well, she really didn't do it for attention at all. Well, technically, she did it to get people's attention for what she felt was a good reason. And technically, it was a good reason because what happened on her end, if you're talking about the Melody Sugar Bowl, yes, you are, she was harassed. She was harassed by Alduin Gajinka. But when you go to Channel Even, because I'm going to read the rest of it after this. I forgot what I was reading. She wanted to get, no, that's not it. This is right here. You go back to Channel Even, Channel Even acts like they know everything about her, so to speak, and they kind of act like they don't and can't make up their mind. So when we go to this, Akai Dahlia, mostly about how she shipped herself with Sonic and Shadow, and the only reason there was little question was because of Akai's generally poor behavior back then. YoshiWii1, at the end of the day, he was a socially awkward guy who went about his interests the wrong way. Sonic93 loves Silver to a similar extent, more on that in a bit, and I think there's a reason she doesn't have a Deviant Art account. And what was the reason? Did you ever say the reason? Because you're just throwing it there for anybody else to think whatever, while you do all the quote-unquote hard work. So when it comes to Akai Dahlia, you know there is an issue with what you said on Channel Even. You say, you know, there was little question because of Akai's generally poor behavior. And so you're basically saying Sonic93 is not guilty of the fact that a lot of people didn't see like the quote unquote truth that you're trying to point out, huh? That's what's confusing me. I'm not saying Sonic93 is guilty. I'm not. I'm just saying what you said is different from the usual narrative. People are saying, oh, Sonic93 made people go after her and stuff and all this stuff. And you're not really saying that Sonic93 had everybody go after her. You're not saying that she took all their attention and sent them at Sonic93. I mean, at Akai. That's not what happened anyway. But it's like you just messed up the usual narrative right here, and you didn't bother saying that. You didn't bother acknowledging that. You messed that up. Because people are like, oh, she sent people after Akai. I don't see that here. And then with YoshiWii1, you're like, at the end of the day, he was a socially awkward guy who went about his interests the wrong way. Didn't really go any further with that. You didn't talk about how Amy-chan called him the next Paul and Amy. You didn't talk about how, like, I'm going to wait. I'll point it out. I'm going to wait for now. Sonic93 loves Silver to a similar extent. Yeah, I read that. How does she like him to a similar extent if she did not draw Silver, in certain ways that was, like, lewd and stuff to the point where she was attacking everybody like YoshiWii1 did? Even though YoshiWii1 was in fact a victim because people came after him and threatened him. Number 3, and it's not because it's not Sonic93, but number 3, raise the pitch of your voice and act like a child to mock the person you're going after. Nowadays, we call this the Paul Joseph Watson approach. Why the fuck do you have this on DeviantArt? Why do so many of you have like all these entries on Sonic93 on DeviantArt still? Why? What's the point? It doesn't really help. All you did was get attention. That's really it. And then give negative attention and have people go after her, contrary to you ever saying, oh, don't go after her. Doesn't matter. They still do it. Number 4, have someone rant with you and have your, I want to read and I want to give you a voice, Channel Even. I'm going to mock you when I do this. Number 4, have someone rant with you and have your guest bring up the more dirty information. This guest would serve as pointless validation at worst, and relief from an otherwise unbearable host. Amy-chan gave Sonic93's rant a sense of maturity, which is why they held some form of attraction back in the day. Sonic93 sounds, in terms of voice, like a much older Princess Elizabeth XIII. Remember that girl? Someone who comes off as bratty. If she did the rants herself, they would have been more mixed, and people would naturally become more curious about her. We'll get back into the guest rant soon. So you're basically saying that if Sonic93 did the rants, she did! And there are plenty of people who didn't have an issue with it. Alduin Gajinka gave a different spin, and you're saying this like you're some type of pro. Amy-chan helped with the rants, yes, when it came to what they did together, especially on Akai and YoshiWii1, but at the same time, the way they approached both of them, it could have been far better. It wasn't really good in terms of how they approached, but you're acting like Sonic93 is the sole problem when it comes to YoshiWii1 and Akai in your hypothetics of her being, it's not even hypothetics, in the hypothetics of her being a problem. I said hypothetics. And that's not right. That's not fair. You're accusing her of being bad, and then it's like you don't discredit Amy-chan for anything except for her doing anything wrong. And that's stupid because you discredit her from doing other good things. That Sonic93 also did good. So when it comes to this, hang low for a while and then come back with another rant. That's number 5. Only this time, we go full circle and Sonic93 gives into the image she cultivated years ago. A silver fangirl who also believed that in order to be a fan, you must love the character at least 98%, and no, not liking how he's portrayed in fan art doesn't count. That's how a fan would portray him. I hate to gatekeep. What the hell are you? I hate to gatekeep, but even a fan would be aware of something's flaws. I love cheesy horror anthology shows, and I know they're not for everyone. This reminds me of that one part of the video of Nico Royam and of, I guess, Sonic93's call at Alduin, where she was jabbing Alduin for making some type of reference to a horror game or whatever, or saying something about a character that sounded horror. And she was questioning her over it. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know this is a reference to it because Nico was like, what does Alduin's love for a horror character have to do with anything? It was something like that. Please don't quote me on this, but rather like give yourself a heads up because she did make a reference to what Sonic93 was questioning Alduin over when it came to a horror game or something. And then there's this Channeleven just taking a jab on it for a dumb reason. So basically, this place right here, Channeleven, you are just doing something out of spite towards Sonic93 and blinking it at the same time. And just trying to give thumbs up to Alduin here, which is stupid. Number 6, give an apology and hang low some more. Wait until the public eye has turned away and give the impression that you'll hold to your words. It's like, you're just trying to be all fancy with this. On trying to make Sonic93 look bad and nothing more while giving yourself a name over it. What the hell is this? Oh, never mind. Number 7, do a complete 180 and resort to going after the majority of your critics, starting with another address to someone you ranted on that got the shitstorm going. As for guest rants, get 3 strangers who are out of the loop to back you up and make it seem like you know what you're talking about. All for the sake of defending something that wouldn't give you tail in real life. Number 8, maintain your obnoxious personality, ensuring that even outsiders will feel you are insufferable. It's like, let me look up insufferable because you are just judging her inside out over here. I know this is like how many years back, but the fact of the matter, you guys still here, basically ensuring that even outsiders would feel you are too extreme to bear. So, number 9, you say determine that your only friends are ones who immediately come to your aid with no questions asked, and if not, shit on them through fleeting statements and future videos. How many friends we're talking? Because when it came to Amy-chan, she's the one who got booted out of the friendship, not Sonic93. And if you're saying, oh, she booted her out because Amy wouldn't do anything for her when Amy was... No, that's not even the case either. I will talk about Amy-chan and GmodSpartan in another video of this series. But the issue is that you and so many of the accusers act like you know everything because you heard people. Going down. Do you see what I'm saying? I said I avoid drama, but the more I look at this, Sonic93 is just plain too extreme to bear. Just plain intolerable. The moment she either apologizes or gets run off the internet, I'll take these down. I mean, I might. Depends on the will of the internet. Okay, you say she's too intolerable, as in too insufferable. Yet, you put this up here. Who made you put this here? Sonic93 made me do it. You know, like Lex Luthor to Superman? Superman made me do it. That's a whole bunch of you accusers in a nutshell. No one made you do this but you chose to do this. You chose to nitpick. You chose to use it as a punching bag. Channel Even. You weren't getting even. You were going all odd all the way. And that probably sucked, but still. Anywho, when it comes down to this, you saying, I mean, I might, depends on the will of the internet. What the fuck do you mean? Are you basically saying, oh, like, it depends on the people? Like, I'm going to look up will of the internet so I can see what exactly you mean. Does a lot of you idiots feel the need to go after somebody and then you say they're the reason why you did it? And it's like, what do you mean? Why are you using fancy talk or things that don't mean shit in this case, and you're just trying to get your jollies? Like, it depends on what happens on the internet. It's like, you are not the sole survivor. You are not Superman or Superwoman. You didn't do 100 or million people a favor by posting this shit. Shut the fuck up. But then we go down here. Funnel Vortex got this voice like, Sonic93 is that annoying person who you don't want to hate personally, but keeps coming back to make a scene. And Channel Even goes like, exactly! Feel empowered yet? So, that's all you had to say. That's all you had to say. Channel Even, both of these people, January 4th, 2020, acting like they're doing someone a favor. You only got 2 comments right here. 813 views. It's weird because you got 813 views, but it seems like a lot of people are like probably shaking their head or shrugging or probably saying, oh, yeah, I already know this already about her, or quote unquote know this already about her. Or you're talking about it elsewhere and you got some mafia thing going on. And then we jump here, March 23rd, 2020, the end of Sonic93. You felt the need to post that there. So we go right here, where this list is here. 4 days before this list, right here, by Wi-Fi93, you put this post up. And I'm still trying to figure out why, what's her name called you YoshiWii1 on that wiki. I'm confused. You got 5 favorites, 18 comments, 919 views. And you say, so I just heard that Sonic93 closed her YouTube channel. I don't know the circumstances behind the closure. She doesn't have any other social media beyond her personal Discord. Given her level of infamy, there are a ton of theories as to why she closed her channel. Number 1, she wanted to get rid of her Akai Dahlia videos because coverages of them were coming out and she knew she couldn't defend herself. Number 2, a rare instance of clarity where she knew she couldn't redeem herself. Number 3, a cop-out to avoid a proper apology. Number 4, constant flaming on her community page. Number 5, she got hacked. Number 6, she did something irredeemable and shut her channel down to avoid litigation. Whatever the case, she's basically going on all major fronts. While her more interesting videos couldn't be saved, as far as I know, I was able to save 2 of her bigger rants for prosperity and act as a permanent reminder of how deep you can sink. Oh, so you're supposed to be Phoenix Wright? Like, I forget his Japanese name. But yeah, he's basically another Ryu out of the Capcom characters. But you think you're Phoenix Wright. If that's the case, I'm Miles Edgeworth. And I have this to say to you. Fascinating. Interesting. I object to all objectionable puzzles, including this hogwash. Not really a good impression, but whatever. I do object to this. Because this is stupid. Why in the hell would you determine whether or not she's redeemable by even posting this on Deviant Art? You say she wanted to get rid of her Akai Dahlia videos. Sonic93 knew already that she couldn't do it. And it's like she went away because she didn't want to deal with the drama, basically. She wanted to move on to deal with what was going on in her life. She had a job. She still got a job. She's got family. You probably wouldn't have known that, but it's like, I don't see any of that up here. But no, it's mainly bad things. It's just bad things, really. Then you go, a rare instance of clarity when she knew she couldn't redeem herself. It's like, why do you feel the need to do this? Then, too, you didn't even bother doing an update when she and Moonis did a video, even though I called out Moonis later. And she did technically directly with me and call that she encouraged me to go into. But you say number 3, a cop-out to avoid a proper apology. I don't know why you put this here. If she wasn't going to apologize, why would she try to avoid giving a proper apology? If by your logic and the logic of others, she wasn't going to apologize to begin with, and saying it to her wasn't going to make her do it. And she's already said in one video that she didn't apologize because people were telling it to. She had her own reason for doing it. Number 4, constant flaming on her community page. What kind of flaming? People calling her out, or people actually saying negative things, or mixed of positive and negative things, like saying, hey, Sonic93, we're just criticizing you. Hey, you said flaming. Never mind. But what kind of flaming? Again, you said she got hacked as a theory. Okay, why did you put this here? What about it? She got hacked. So it's like, okay, no follow-up? How would she get hacked? Out of all of these, what gets me the most is you saying she got hacked as a theory, because there is no sympathy, there is no gray area. It's just you throwing it in to make it sound like you're not just dead set on her being innocent. You're just saying bad things here, but you want to balance it out by saying she got hacked. That doesn't make it balanced. That doesn't give you a freebie to continue this. Number 6, you say she did something irredeemable and shut her channel down to avoid litigation. She wouldn't be able to do that. She would not have been able to avoid litigation or whatever the hell you're talking about, because there's data up there. And so you didn't even make a follow-up to say, even though she can't avoid it, because there's evidence against Sonic93 based on what you and the others say. You screwed yourself right here, Channel Even, because it's like, whatever the case, she's basically gone. You put this here, and you know full well, even if someone deletes their videos, it hurts them so much, depending on what they did, to the point that they can still get found out. And in this case of this freaking list right here, if this were true, she wouldn't be able to avoid it. So what is your point? You're just throwing things in there that sound smart, and it's stupid for you to do it. So I'm going to look up litigation, especially, just so I can... The process of taking legal action. That's exactly what I'm saying. This is stupid. She would not have been able to avoid litigation if what she did was true. But guess what? You never reported her. You never reported her to the police. None of you ever did. And this goes back to what OBD was saying on another video where they were questioning, like, why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you do that? Whatever the case, she's basically gone on all major fronts. While her most interesting videos, it's like a permanent reminder of how deep you can sink. You are not Smokey the Bear. You are not some PSA mascot. Now, when it comes to Murray Angel 4, who I've seen on other Deviant Art posts, she says, gee, and I liked her rants because they were interesting, all right. It sucks she got in trouble. She didn't get in trouble. You're talking about with the CC. She didn't get in trouble with the CC. They overran her. That's what they did. Basically worked up her nerves. Tired her out. She was tired of seeing it. They didn't run her off the platform. They overran her nerves. They worked her up. And she was sick and tired of it. To the point it's like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to exit because I have better things to do. She even told me that herself. Not exactly that way. She said it better than me, though. When you got a whole bunch of fire ants and roaches going after you and just saying the same thing and not really showing evidence and keep on docking on you, like, what are you going to do? Just sit there? But again, you say it sucks she got in trouble because she went almost top far with her love for silver. How? It was not all about silver. It wasn't even really about silver. If you've been paying attention to videos, like even when YoshiWii1 and Akai Jane and other videos, she was not like constantly talking about Silver. She wasn't. She wasn't even talking to me constantly about Silver. There's nothing wrong with having a crush on a fictional character, but you must remember about boundaries so you don't lose your sanity. I hope she's doing okay despite the pandemic. And you're probably the first person that I've seen that has fully said, I hope she's doing okay despite the pandemic. I've seen other people saying, I hope she's okay. And you, Channel Even, and Bag of Deuce, despite them calling her a defect, it's like, why would you go on another video that you re-uploaded, or something that's not even yours especially, and you say, I hope she's doing all right or whatever, oh, she's safe, after calling her a defect, and then using her as like a, wait for it, right here. This, right here. These shots right here. A Bag of Deuce. You see the watermark right here. And a mental defect right here. You say this stuff, Channel Even, I'm surprised you didn't say Bag of Deuce was far worse. You didn't talk about Bag of Deuce, did you? I might have to do some research on that. Because you said, I'm not holding my breath on her, but hopefully she's fine. What do you mean by you're not holding your breath on her? Not holding my breath. I'm going to look this up because if I find out something, you are even far more legally entitled than you already are. The expression not holding my breath is an informal way of saying that you don't expect something to happen, even if someone has suggested it might. So you're basically saying, hey, you know, I don't expect her to be all right or whatever. So you say that after the bullshit you said. Again, who are you to say this shit? So you don't care what happened to her. Even though you said it's like sorry, not sorry. And sorry. Just add it at the end. Raptor's Overlord says, I may end up sounding like a white knight to Sonic93 or Ruth. Again, people, please just stick to calling her Sonic93, even if you mean well. And to me, Raptor's Overlord means well. But it's like because her name is just all over the place. At least try to. If you don't know her personally, mainly. Especially. Whatever she preferred to be called. But to think this whole drama started over an opinion over a fictional character, I have her think to a degree that Ruth isn't to fully be blamed, but rather the internet itself is full of wrong people that could influence you the wrong way. Like saying that you can't have an opinion unless you back it up with facts and shit. And I have the displeasure of coming across these kinds of people. So even if I misread or misread what you're saying, Raptor, like if I feel that you strongly disagree with how people are perceiving her, but you agree that hey, she needs to like tone it down with Silver, even if it was like that. You have a gray area approach right here, to me, which is fine because Sonic93 doesn't hold it against people who thought, based on the accusations, that she was the way people perceived her to be. The issue she actually had was the people who was lying about her or spreading these narratives, and they knew she's not like that, but they didn't care and they kept attacking her. So I appreciate this. I can't really speak on her behalf, if she was to see this herself, but I do appreciate this, even if you're neutral and you still disagree with Sonic93 on certain things, because all Channel Even and others had to do was just report her if she happened to hypothetically be that type of dangerous person and not fuel the fire, not say all this hateful stuff, but say, hey, she needs to tone it down. We got to stop her for her own good. So that way nobody else ends up like her, like how YoshiWii1 got broken to the point where Sonic93 is getting broken. And we want the best for Sonic93, so we're gonna help her by stopping her. And you can help people by stopping them. But that's not what happened with Channel Even and a whole bunch of people. And then Musical Stargazer says, I just really failed to see why she brought up some year-old drama that people forgave her for. Going back to, what was it? Oh, it was Bag of Deuce. So Bag of Deuce, I'm reading under your video where OBD was saying, like, I'm gonna read the whole thing this time. I'm not saying Sonic93 did nothing wrong by any means, but I absolutely hate how everyone is quick to assume that she brought up this drama again exclusively for fucking attention. She has said herself that the reason she brought this up again because she came across Melody Sugarplum on Amino shitting on people who draw silver and making hateful blogs on silver. She was genuine with her apology, but when she came across Melody doing the aforementioned stuff, she felt that she was innocent the whole time, when in reality, she never was, and she ignores this, subsequently developing a single-minded attitude. Then Bagadoos supposedly responded. No comment here, got deleted. Probably deleted themselves. They did. Bagadoos says, I'm not trying to not Bagadoos. Sorry, OBD. OBD says, I'm not trying to white knight, my dude. I'm just clarifying the reason she brought up this whole drama again. It just simply bugs me how everyone seems to think she revived old drama for no reason or just for attention. I get that bringing this up again isn't a good idea. I'm just pointing out the actual reason she revived this dead horse, at least according to herself. And again, I have to stress this. I'm not saying Sonic93 did nothing wrong. Hell, I even said Sonic93 developed a single-minded attitude, which is hardly a good trait to have at all. Now, is it? Now, the thing about that, if I haven't already having a different approach, I'm going to look at Sonic93, Bagadoos. I have this to say. I may have said it out of context, but if Sonic93 did anything wrong, that's not the same as saying she's guilty. It depends. Like, let's say, again, when it comes to the Melody Sugarplum thing in the YoshiWii1 video, and Akai, the approach, I feel, hypothetically speaking, it could have been better. Hypothetically speaking, for example, she may have taken it way up there to the level of, like, making a big deal out of somebody who wasn't worth talking about because they weren't worth, like, dealing with. They were just a troll or somebody, for example. I'm saying this hypothetically speaking. So when it comes to Melody, it's like, okay, if you were to say that she was wrong to go on ahead and do the Melody video, then oh my freaking goodness, whatever. Then you're not saying, oh, she's guilty, but rather it's like, hey, she made an honest mistake with doing that type of video. There's a such thing as that, but I think it was this one. I'm not even freaking sure. I'm trying to look for
what in God's name are you doing?
Oh my God, no. Was it down here? Okay, it was this. So I'm gonna stick around with this, but the way you approach a situation on a person, it could very well be over the top. It could very well be a little bad, a little wrong or something like that. But that's not to say you are guilty because of, like, the accusations. When the accusation is saying, oh, you harassed a minor, you abused a minor. And it's like, she's not guilty over that. She didn't abuse Melody. But going back to this, Channeleven says, I take it as she saw something Melody did, misconstrued it, had no self-awareness, and wanted to go after her critics that would be better believed in her. Otherwise, she loved Silver the Hedgehog that much and was a target who desperately needed to be talked about. It's like, you say she saw something that Melody did, misconstrued. Let's look up misconstrued. Because a lot of the things that you folks say, you don't really think about the meaning of it. And then it messes up my wires. It's like, okay, you know what it means? Interpret wrong. I take it as she saw something Melody did, interpreted it wrong, had no self-awareness, and wanted to go after critics that would be better believed in her. Otherwise, she loved Silver the Hedgehog that much and was a target who desperately needed to be talked about. If that's the case with the first part, why didn't you raise an alarm and say, hey, y'all, all you folks going after her, please consider, even if she loves Silver that much, please consider that maybe that's not what it is. She misread Melody. You didn't do that. You say it, but you always push for one side. Music of Stargate says, makes sense. It's really ridiculous that this is all over a fictional character. It really wasn't. I can understand disagreeing with someone's take over a fictional character. It really wasn't. Again, But at the end of the day, they're just that, fictional. Is it really something worth getting that invested over beyond maybe a few preferably respectful disagreements? Admittedly, I used to be like that 6 years ago when I was 13. The difference is that I was 13 and I have long since regretted that petty and immature behavior and learned from it. When I see someone hating something I personally like, I just respect their opinion, ignore it, and go on with my day. Sonic93 is in her mid-20s, if I'm not mistaken. It's like, so what? You got a lot of bunch of people on this planet. You see somebody that's bitching and moaning about a character, you don't have to call them out. If they're so obsessed with a character, you don't have to call them out unless they're doing something dangerous to themselves and or another person. And that's not really what you did. You made a mockery of her. I'm not talking about you, Stargazer. I'm talking about ChannelEven and a whole bunch of other people. And Marie, I've seen you like many, a few places, and it's like you were not really being appropriate in regards to Sonic93 and another video I showed you in. So yeah. Psychology. Wait, did I? No. I think it might be for the best that she takes a break from the internet. I think it might do her some good and give her some time to reflect and hopefully change for the better, which I do hope does happen. Despite my disagreements with her recent behavior, I'm not really one to hold grudges, and I try to hope for the best. To me, this is a decent comment, despite what ChannelEven and some of what Marie has said and what Marie has said in other posts, Deviant Art posts. Psychology M says, also, don't forget that she made Dumbsville, a sweet boy that considered her his friend and wanted to help her, almost cried. Dumbsville is also a grown man. I'm going to come back to that. Marie posted last. 93 said, probably 2, 3, and 6 altogether. It's like, whatever. Flair, Mawile Ninja said, I don't even know how to feel about this at this point. Sad, pleased. ChannelEven said, just telling it as I hear it. And this is the problem. Just telling it as I hear it. You hear it, but do you understand it? Did you understand it? Did you look it up yourself? Just telling it as I see it, you don't even see it. You just hear it. Hearing and seeing are two different things. Hearing, seeing, and knowing are different things. Flair says, I know, it's just aggravating, you know? That a person that you follow for a while just disappoint you. It happened with Ultima Almighty, Toon Crickety, 2K, and others. And now it's Sonic93. ChannelEven says it's universal. There's so many people I used to follow, but not anymore. Though on my end, it's over minor reasons. Flair says, I suppose you're right. Wood-Eye Black Hole 95 says, good riddance to her. In an a la carte, like a Symphony of the Night, post-Symphony of the Night a la carte like voice. And then Cameo Hunter says, I remember when these came out. What is your opinion on the individual discussed in the videos? Just curious. ChannelEven says, Melody Sugarplum, never heard of her until the videos, but I can understand how this drama warped her. I believe a true fan would acknowledge the flaws a character has. Alduin, basically a troll, but she's better by default. And it's like, if you go to my videos on it's the one, it's the semi last part to my Nico Royum's It's No Use video. To her video on Sonic93. The semi last part has it so that I'm showing off screenshots of what was in Bagadoose's re-upload of Sonic93 Mini to Mini, Super Sprite, and Draco Charizard's video against Melody Sugarplum when they were exposing her. And I mean, it's in Bagadoose's archive video as well. So you can check it out and you can see that they are pointing out that Melody Melody is not as innocent as she seemed. She was talking about how Silver was actually a problem to kids and stuff when it wasn't true. And she was slandering Sega. Like how Draco was slandering Sega in regards to saying, they're catering to sexism over Blaze the Cat and his Deviant Art. So you're not really saying anything in regards to that video, which is really stupid. And even then, it wasn't about Melody criticizing Silver. It was rather her bitching, complaining about the character not being the way she wanted him to be. Alduin Gajinka, you say basically a troll, but she's better by default. She's better by default. You don't even go into detail. You're just saying basically a troll, but she's better by default. Way to Captain Planet, or in this case, Project. Psychology M says, again, also don't forget that she made Dumbsville a sweet boy that considered her his friend and wanted to help her. Almost cried. You poor bastard. Dumbsville was making money off of Sonic93. And I'm going to show it after this. Channel Even says, probably the only one who knows for sure are people who know are on Discord. Yep, still can't believe I rolled that bandwagon. And I was worse in that I preserved his journals and made an ED article on him. But I guess over time I did mature and even I stopped being afraid to show my interest. No, you didn't, because you felt the need to make this shit and you didn't even bother taking it down. So when it comes to Dumbsville, I want to show something that, oh my god. It's around this, it's around here. Because this is what gets me. I don't know exactly when this was made, because Dumbsville at some point talked to Bagadoosh. Dumbsville said, nice. Got a heart from Bagadoosh. Then said, no problem, man. At this point, I've come to the point where I've accepted that not all your heroes are heroes. LOL. It's part of growing up, in my opinion, and I'm kind of glad I learned the way I did, because Bagadoosh probably delete the comment again. And my thing is, you got Dumbsville right here, who has want to donate. Donations via super chat or the link in the description are accepted. You're making money off of a podcast or whatever, a public thing with Amy-chan and Zombified Spartn talking to you about Sonic93. So let's do this.
No screws missing. All sense, no bullshit.
I guess to move on to the next question now. How long has Ruth's obsession been with Silver, and were there any signs / red flags you noticed early on?
I remember like 2 instances. The first one that comes to mind is like we were actually doing a video call at the time. So she was wearing makeup. She actually said to me, "Do you think Silver would like it?"
What? What?
Whoa. You think this is freaking okay? Especially with Bagadoo's drawing shit like this and what I already showed in other videos? You think this is fucking okay? It's not okay. Do you fucking think that having Melody Sugarplum in that same video is okay when she was a minor back then? At that time, they drew her pulling her panties from her butt cheeks right here. And all of this. And then you got Bagadoosh in that same video that they put Melody Sugarplum in with Dumbsville and Nico Royam on the cover and themselves looking at the panties and her ass, at Sonic93's ass and panties, and giving a 10. You think that's appropriate? Dumbsville, Amy-chan, Zombified Spartn, Channel Even, a whole bunch of you idiots? You think that's okay? And then Amy-chan, you spreading the whole narrative. Oh, you think I look? You think Silver think I look good in makeup? Like, did you not think that she was joking around? Why are you telling us? Even if she was serious, why are you spreading it in public? You know people get attacked and judged for different reasons to the point that they get chased, towards the ends of time because someone would call them a freak and all sorts of things. You know, like how Bagadoosh called her a creature and called her, mental defective, Amy-chan. And then you, Dumbsville, you chicken and dumplings asshole, because you look like a turkey. Want to donate. Donations via super chat or the link in the description are accepted. Like, what the hell?
I mean,
I mean, he's a fake character. Oh, yeah, baby. Let me see your makeup. I'm a fake fictional headshot.
I'm guessing that's you, Dumbsville. But let me go back, and this is why I called him a chicken and dumplings asshole, because he looks, well, not turkey, but he looks like a chicken, right? That's me just roasting him, but that's not important. Me roasting someone is not even important. But god dang, what is the problem is right here? You got somebody who puts their Lego OC, calls themselves, or people call him Lego Jesus, in a business suit. And it's like, have a seat with Dumbsville. Have a seat with Dumbsville. So, let me get this straight, you three. Dumbsville, population rising. Because you're talking to somebody who is not a registered therapist. They got you exposed in public too. He does. He's got himself exposed. He's getting donations off of Sonic93, off of this subject, and you're helping him. You were helping him. So, Channel Even, how do you condone behavior like that especially? So when we go to something like this, what is this? I'm not going to read the whole thing because this is supposed to be what YoshiWii1 posted. But again, I'm wondering why, what was that? I'm wondering why Berry called them YoshiWii1. Call him YoshiWii1. I'm just wondering because even when it comes to this, I have something to read that I have found. Like, that really disturbs me. I'll tell you. If you want to see this page, the URL is in the link from my end. If you can copy it or find it. So, when it comes to the comment section, I'll read the comment section. Arcarex13 says, in all my life, I've never heard of such a fantastic load of tripe. And I think they are criticizing what YoshiWii1 put that Channel Even like reposted. This was back in September 29th, 2014. Channel Even says, for the record, I'm off the anti-YoshiWii1 bandwagon. This is strictly for preservation. And this is 2022. My thing is, why do you fucking still have this up here when you know full well that you said, number one, you are no longer anti-YoshiWii1. Number two, you were quote-unquote defending YoshiWii1 over what Sonic93 quote-unquote did. So why is it still up here? This is a stupid reason. Craig says, gotcha. Still, I will forever ship Sonic with Sally, no matter what anybody says or thinks. Channel Even says, yeah, me too. So, going down, there is something I found either here or another spot that really pissed me off. I'm getting to it, but just in case, so you can get a good lowdown of what's here, in case you do go to this page. This is not important. This is where I read this. Like, this is 2015. Master Hand's paper says, why are people hating on YoshiWii1 too much? I mean, sure, it seems pretty rude in a way to people who really love Sally, but it's accurate in lots of ways, especially the headshot scroll mating part. General Even says, he's overly obsessive over Son Amy, among other faults. Son Amy is non-plausible. It's like, if you are no longer such of a hater, why don't you say, like in an edit, that, hey, I no longer hate YoshiWii1. Any of the comments you see are older, and I don't condone them anymore, or whatever. But then, here's the issue right here. Freak Up says, YoshiWii1 was shit. I can't think why there are people who still believe it's shit. Aleksandae says he wasn't just shit, but rather dipshit. This is an issue right here. Because Aleksandae is the same person who also posted under this guy's, yeah. Anybody remember this? And then too, before I even go to them, actually no, let me just go to them. This is Aleksandae right here. And this post was on September 22nd, 2015. Now going back, this is November 15, 2015. There's an issue right here. And then going here. This is when SonicGMI, the uploader of that YoshiWii1.exe bullshit, he and GhostRaptor were basically giving death threats. Well, sending him to Gulag in North Korea or send him to ISIS to get beheaded. And right here. This shit right here that SonicGMI-22 did. And you mean to freaking tell me, Channel Even, that you didn't know who Aleksandae was? And then come to find out this shit. Aleksandae insulted YoshiWii1's dad. At some point, YoshiWii1's dad passed away. It's from a comment I read on the Sonic Miku's page from Just a Clone. This stuff right here, this fanfiction they made of YoshiWii1 to humiliate him. And you mean to tell me, Channel Even, you didn't see this shit? And this is ridiculous. Yoshi bitch won. What? Oh my god. Oh, so you dislike him or her? Neutral. How are you neutral when you made that shit? When you made that up there? You're not neutral if you're saying that shit about him. I found out who he is now. Wow, you were right. He is very shitty. You did a good job at mocking him with this Shrek is love. And what the fuck are you? You're crediting them for mocking YoshiWii1. Oh my god. You saw his rant on YouTube? Not yet. It's not pink. It was never pink. Playtime is pink. Pink is like Amy. I know that. Mate, what the fuck? Oh my god. So Channel Even, you didn't see this, huh? I'm looking down. Okay, this is it. So another person I want to go down to. I'm not going to read all of what they said, but I want to point out something. Because that ISIS thing reminded me of something. And that's not it. I have such a stomach ache from this stupid shit. I honestly, whatever the freaking case, anybody who condones this type of behavior, you are no better than the people you claim to be better than that do this shit. And that's Sonic Miku. I'm gonna find it, but I think it's right over. Oh my goodness, it's not one of my. It's this right here. So I'm gonna read this in another video, but then I'm gonna talk about Channel Even like after this part. So in this part, Princess Anastasia 434 was saying something that was rather racist and attacking Sonic93's religion. And even said something like she was mocking her by saying, oh, I'm a hypocrite who has no life. I'm 27 and Silver's 14. That makes me a danger to others. I toss out people who are no longer useful to me. Why am I like this? Because when I was a baby, an ISIS member took me from my family. And all these years, I was reaped. I'm also an ISIS member. That's right. I hate everything ISIS rules. April 15, 2020. And you go somewhere over here. Channel Even posted this in 2020. And it's like, did you or did you not freaking see that? Did you or did you not see Princess's post, Channel Even? Because this is a serious issue. A lot of people claim, oh, we have so many sources and stuff. If you have so many sources, then why are you also condoning what they're doing that is clearly messed up and that is in public? And then they have the nerve to credit so many people. Alduin, all these folks. It's like, why? And then they say something about Sonic93 killing her own haters and stuff, making it sound she's going to do that. And then they threaten Sonic93, saying, I will kill you first and all that. All that stuff. I'm going to kill you. Any last words? Did this stuff. And the reason why I'm showing it, because it's like people are picky. They're picky over who they're defending and who they're going after. Because it's like, when it comes to Channel Even, like, dude, I know you condone what happened to YoshiWii1. You did. It's weird how someone calls you YoshiWii1 if there's more to it. But when it comes to this video, especially, and the next one, I want to point out something that that Channel Even and other people so desperately ignore when it comes to Sonic93. They say she can't handle Silver having flaws, that she attacked people over saying he has flaws. Now, at 2844 in my video, I'm going to hit this. Before I actually do it, I just want you to know, just because I have low likes, it doesn't mean anything. I'm a very, very, very small channel. I don't care about likes, really. It's whether people pay attention or not over something that is, in fact, harassment and slander. But when it comes down to this, 2844, Alduin claims Sonic93 gives her the vibes that she can't accept Silver flaws. So I'm going to play this part. 2844. But before I get done, I want to start right here. So that way it probably makes sense to you. Wait. Oh, come on. What the?
Many assortment of characters you could easily.
Sorry about that. 2844. But she's not a terrible character. Okay, that's me.
Why she's in such denial about Silver's popularity. It kind of gives me the vibe as though she can't accept or consider the character's flaws.
Do right here. And Moondis himself, despite what I said about him, despite me calling him out, despite Sonic93 calling him out, he made a good point indirectly behind the scenes that no, that doesn't make Silver a bad character. Okay. Also, that is my fault right there, because I was trying to get to the I was trying to start it off where I wasn't talking and when she was talking. So you can hear Alduin and then you can hear me and you can hear Sonic93. Same thing as a terrible character. That's a program boss fight. You just said it yourself. Literally, it's like Sheva. Yeah, Resident. Oh my god.
Like Silver still got a lot of haters.
For a few seconds, just for a few seconds. Okay. Anybody who sees this video, you can see for yourself what I'm saying. I'm just gonna go to 2844. I'm gonna timestamp against this because I wanted people to hear Alduin for themselves. But go to my video and watch it, please, to hear the whole thing.
Why she's in such denial about Silver's popularity. It kind of gives me the vibe as though she can't accept or consider the character's flaws.
So I do apologize for that because I didn't forget that I was talking in the video. It's just I forgot there was that point I was talking because I was responding to Alduin and Jane and at that part. But I do have some timestamps. Probably not enough, but 4336. I wanted to show an example of how Alduin was thinking, yeah, you don't really handle people's criticism very well. And then Sonic93 actually says something that disproves it, and then Alduin just ignores it.
That I hate about his personality. Wait.
Let me go back. Already it's pre-recorded, whatever.
So this is basically another reading from me, so I hope you enjoy it, folks. All right, I'm gonna start right now.
Alduin kept speeding up her voice. I'm not joking.
I'm personally a huge Silver fan, and there's a lot of things I love about the character, like his cuteness, his innocent naivety, is that even a word? And optimistic I have to save the world personality. I also really love how he's so sweet and saves others, but there are things that I hate about his personality. Wait, what? Didn't you just establish the things you love about his character? And then the very next sentence, you change it into there are things you hate about this personality?
That's the thing. Sonic93, she was confused by how, I almost called her Alduin, Melody was like, oh, I'm a huge fan. And then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? I don't like his personality. I don't like his personality because it doesn't meet what I see in Silver or meet what I want in Silver. But it was blanking it as, oh, there's issues with this character. Like, for example, if I were to say, I love Astro Boy, I love Astro/Adam, and I say, oh, one thing I like about him is that he's kind of like Mega Man. He's got that strong sense of justice, and he can fly around. He has butt cannons, and yeah. He has like a Mega Buster like arm. He doesn't really look like a Mega Buster, but it's like an arm cannon. It's an arm cannon. He can shoot like a large beam, and he has like a button nose depending on his depiction and stuff. I like how he's in Crystal Crisis and stuff with Quote and Curly Braids and other characters. It's like Astro Boy is my favorite character. I love his personality, and I feel bad for what he's gone through like as a character because of his template Tobio. But then all of a sudden I say I hate him. I hate Astro Boy because he looks too much like Tobio, Dr. Timma's real son, and Astro Boy is just a fake. He's stupid. He should never have been based on Tobio, and he's just a Mega Man ripoff, even though Mega Man came later, not before Astro Boy. And it's like that. And I say, oh, Astro Boy has a stupid personality because he's just another generic robot. It's like that. You can't claim you're a huge fan and then say all that stuff, but at the same time, if someone's saying, hey, Sonic93 should not have made a video on Melody Sugar Plum because it's like, it wasn't really worth talking about a troll, basically. I get that. But you didn't tell her that. You know, it was like, oh, she abused her. She abused her by yelling. Oh my goodness. And made it about Silver. But going back up.
And I'm not saying you should view him as a perfect character, because no character is, nor should be, considered perfect and flawless. But you contradict yourself big time if you use the word hate when you just said what you like about his personality, and if you're a huge fan of Silver.
There you have it. It's nothing wrong with Silver having flaws. Even Sonic93 said that. She accepts characters have flaws. Where do you people get this idea of, oh, she hates it when people say he has flaws? That's not true.
Quite the statement, Sonic93. So you have to like a character's personality no matter how shitty they act? Does that mean I have to justify and agree with Eddie Gluskin being a serial killer who mutilates men to create brides? Do I have to condone Dylan Fuentes wanting to tie up people in his sex dungeon and can't disagree with it whatsoever? Do I have to support Reaper for committing acts of terrorism? This statement completely falls flat given the assortment of characters you could easily apply this statement that she made to. How is pointing out what you don't like or like in a character contradictory? It's this opinion that shouldn't even fucking matter to you.
That's the thing. It's true. It shouldn't matter, but when it comes to somebody who has labels, let's say, not somebody, when it comes to people who have labels, you say you're a huge fan, you say you don't like a character. If you're somebody who doesn't like something, you just be straight up honest, right? It's like me saying, I love cake and ice cream. And then someone says, oh, I like cake and ice cream too. And I say, what I like about cake and ice cream, I just like how it looks. And then I'm like, I like how it tastes. I like the person who invented it or whatever. But it's stupid. It's stupid. It all sucks. I like candy. I like cotton candy better. Cake and ice cream can go do whatever. I'm not going to say NSFW. And cake and ice cream looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy. That's why it makes me sick. That's why I don't even eat it. And it's like, whoa, hold on, bro. I thought you were on the same page as me. You hate it? I mean, no. I like it, but cake and ice cream shouldn't be called cake and ice cream. Cake and ice cream should be called like sugar and dumplings. That's what it looks like. It's sugar and dumplings. And people need to accept that because it's hard for the kids. If I said something like that, people would have been going after me, including the person in front of me. Would that make me a true fan of cake and ice cream? No. But it's like at the same time, should they make a big deal out of me, hypothetically speaking? No. Even if they find me to be a big deal, it's like, no. So when it comes to Sonic93, it's a harmless mistake on her behalf. hypothetically speaking, not something she's guilty over. If she did anything wrong, it's a harmless, innocent mistake. My goodness. Now go on to the next one, because Channel Even, your morale, you have no sense of morale when it comes to what you put. You try to look like it, like how Alduin did, but you don't. Now 1626. Go right here, 1626. Oh my god. God! Freaking... Sorry, no. That's me. Oh, jeez, no. Damn it! Come on! What the fuck? God! Freaking... No! Oh, jeez, no. How did I forget about this part? Oh, my freaking goodness. Yeah, that's me. Sonic93 sounded way better than you. Yeah, that's not important. I was trying to go from the starter, and it just didn't. Never mind. 723. 1723. I'm gonna put this in the bloopers. Come on. Right here.
Can you even call yourself a silver fangirl when you can't even accept his flaws?
Here we go. You know what? Can you even call yourself a silver fangirl when you can't even accept his flaws? That's what she said to Melody Sugarplum. Can you even call yourself a silver fangirl when you cannot even accept his flaws? And people were saying that. It's like, here's my question to anybody watching this. Can you even call Sonic93 a true Silver fangirl if she can't accept Silver's flaws based upon what people were saying about her? If she was in fact a toxic Silver fangirl, if she was in fact denying Silver's denying Silver's flaws, wouldn't that mean Sonic93 is not a true Silver fan, but is trying to make Silver into who she sees Silver as, right? That's not the case with Sonic93. Melody was the untrue Silver fan. That's the thing. People did not say Sonic93 is a toxic Silver fangirl because of what she quote-unquote did to Melody. No, they said it to shield Melody from getting any possible backlash from being called out as a non-true Silver fan when she wanted her own desires and the character she made a big deal out of. And even then, it wouldn't have been right for anybody to harass Melody. But the thing is, Melody in herself was going around posting that stuff about, oh, how Silver is condoning weed. Not exactly the way I said it, but far worse than I said it. And then saying he has negative influence on kids. That's what she said. Now, at 1854, this is when Alduin responds to what she just said. 1854. There you go.
She doesn't need to accept his flaws.
What the fuck? Yeah, she said that. She freaking said that, Channel Even. So that's why I want to stop right there. Oh, wait a minute. This. I'm only going to scroll down to see if there's more. And then I'm going to say my final thoughts and final analysis on Channel Even especially. This is the Son Amy hints. YoshiWii1. Oh my god, this is long. So, 29 comments. Cat Wright said, 2017, I actually like YoshiWii1. His statements are true and such. I honestly believe all these hints. The people who hate on him hate something about themselves, so I don't know. Channel Even says, whatever. Really rude. Son Amy Light Does said, 2015, reads the part called A Message to the Son Amy Haters. Oh, the irony. Oh my fucking god, what? Okay, I came back for a good reason. Channel Even says, yeah. So, oh my fucking, okay. Okay, so here it is, folks. Wow, YoshiWii1 was fancy guy. I ain't sure if he's on the internet any thought. And Channel Even said, August 12, 2015, yeah. Aleks says, what? With 2 question marks. So you actually interacted with Aleksandae, and you didn't do anything. Oh my god. Oh my god, what? And this is Blah6 saying, read the message to the haters people. He meant well. Plus, Shadami sucks. LOL. Shadami for life. This is 2015. And Yar said, are you one of YoshiWii1's friends? Blah says, tries to lie convincingly. Yes, I am. But in all seriousness, I frequently looked him up. His Shadami hints are pretty good. Channel even said, Sun Alley is better and you don't know anything about Yoshi, do you? Sonami said, why do you even post this then? But I do respect your opinion. If you don't like it, then delete it. Yoshi may have been a fanbrat, but he was right about this. So basically, they're saying this to Channel Even, who went after YoshiWii1. Channel Even says it's an archive from YoshiWii1. Why his name's included in the title? He certainly wasn't. 2016. They says Sunset says, stop talking about Yoshi1. I know Yoshi1 was a horrible Sonami fanbrat, and I hate him, but he's gone, so forget about him. I actually want to make a stamp about this, but how? Blah6 posted that. Nephilim fan said, people talk about him because of one person similar to him in some ways. I don't know what they're talking about. Channel even says, this was archived a long time ago. It's still not no excuse. The GmodSpartan, what the fuck? Oh my god, GMod. Hi, GMod. No, oh my. Are you serious? No PC for you, Brand. So you said no PC for you, Brandon, and called him poop. Honestly, this guy has no life. He's still active on other websites, only taking screenshots of BS bullshit, and he still wonders why he doesn't have a girlfriend. It's because he really fucking sucks at life. He is a complete super geek. He won't lose his virginity with the human being he already loses it with Amy my fucking god. He is not on DA anymore, so you should not give him credit, bro. You should, yeah. Anybody who sees this, read this for yourself if you can. Channel even says, yeah, okay. GmodSpartan is Amy-chan's boyfriend. Yeah, okay, says Channel Even. The Gmod says LOL. And Channel Even says XD. Topaz Star V says, thanks for archiving this. I thought I'd never see it again. Channel Even says, okay. I don't think this is important right here. But this goes to show that Gmod, Channel Even, and Aleks and Akai, they have ties. They have ties with each other, or had ties with each other, and possibly SonicGMI. I'm going back here. This is Alexandae, one of the people that Channel Even was talking to. And again, I don't know why. Oh my god, I forgot their name, but I'll go back. This person right here made this YoshiWii1 EXE bullshit. And GmodSpartan was one of the people that baited YoshiWii1 and harassed him with his friends on his own page. I mean, I'm not to say YoshiWii1 didn't harass back, but I mean, Gmod baited YoshiWii1. So, I'm still going to talk about Gmod in another video. And Amy-chan basically ignored things. Amy-chan and Gmod and Channel Even and Dumbsville, the list goes on. They were selective of what they were saying and what was happening. And they did dirt themselves by far. They did things far worse than what people claimed of Sonic93 especially. And it's really disgusting. I don't even think Akai Jane has ever done anything on that level. I don't know. I don't think she has. I'm not somebody who should be dictating, and I'm not dictating what Akai did or didn't do. I'm just going by what I heard and what I have known, and I'm just saying it. It's disturbing me because I don't even know what this deal is. I don't know if somebody gave false information to Berry or if YoshiWii1 is Channel Even. I don't know. I mean, I doubt it, but I don't know if it's a mistake right here or not. But Channel Even, you and GMod and Amy and so many people I called out and who were called out by other folks, you deserve to be in prison. Because you condone what happened to YoshiWii1 and you felt so quote unquote bad that you put it on Sonic93 so you can get away from what you did to YoshiWii1. So yeah, welcome to fame, Channel Even. You're up there. And stay tuned for part 2.